Be legendary, baby.
Have you guys heard of Certified Health Nut, Troy Casey? Anybody that hasn't, for a real treat. My buddy Troy, he's a is it a 2-star crown, Troy? You're in the Purium company. He's been around for about 6 or 7 years, the Purium fam, and he's a pioneer in modern day health and wellness, and he's got a book out that's really good. If you guys haven't read it, it's Ripped at 50. Look at that guy, all ripped down a ball at 54 years young. So yeah, this is a great book. Got a forward by Paul Chek. If you guys don't know who Paul Chek is, man, check him out. No pun intended. What's up, Aaron?
What up, bro?
What's up, brother? So yeah, guys, tonight I wanted to light some fires under some asses. And anybody out here who wants inspiration, right now we're in a time where a lot of shit's changing in the world. If I look out my window right now, the sun is gray-orange, and California's fires are moving up into Oregon, and the world's going crazy. People are scared. People are masked up and freaked out and afraid of their own shadows, and all kinds of stuff is going on right now. So,
and don't mention Donald Trump, because people will get their panties in a twist.
That's right. I said don't use the D word. So yeah, we're gonna shadow ban you. So, So
What's up?
we're gonna keep it strictly business, and a little bit maybe we can do a little Troy's Trump platform later, but like we're gonna talk about.
I don't have a platform. I'm running for president of planet Earth in 2020. I'm superseding everyone.
That's fine. I'll vote for you, man. So you guys, we're all moving into this new paradigm, right? And we have to make a decision whether we want to be leaders or we want to be, whatever, operating on a system of fear. Now, a lot of us are kind of stuck with one foot in one world and one foot in the other world, where we really want to take over ownership of our lives and become leaders. But right now, we need a little spark maybe, and not like the spark in the woods here, but like the spark of getting motivated to learning from people who have stepped out into the unknown. And we've got Troy Casey, Certified Health Nut, who has built a business just around being himself. And that's what we're all here to learn about, is how to become the product of your own business. And what we're calling today's meetup is how to succeed. And success has many manifestations. Success of maybe your finances. Most people think of that first in society, but what about your wellness? I was just learning about a woman today who became a network marketing wizard, and she had cancer 3 times, and she had no formal education. And she speaks of, and she's a multimillionaire, and she speaks of 3 things, 3 tanks that need to be filled: the tank of mind, the tank of body, and the tank of spirit. Now, most people don't take care of all 3 of those. Most people don't even take care of 2 out of 3 of those. So Troy's going to talk to us today about his path to success, some of the things he's been through, and just, I'm going to let him go because he's a wild animal and he's got a lot of knowledge to share. So thank you, Troy, for being here today with us, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great, and thanks for having me on the show. And you mentioned something about spirit, and I was watching some Paul Chek videos today, and I think his definition of spirituality is being able to deal with what is, or being okay with what is. And so something to that effect, like really dealing with reality in the present moment. And so, because I think we can get, and what he said was, you don't need religion to understand that. Because sometimes we get caught up in ideas, and that can be a trap. But you told me not to get into politics, so we're not going to talk about.
You guys are not muted. Please mute yourself unless you want to speak.
Oh my God, did you guys miss that whole thing?
No, we heard you, buddy.
Oh, you did? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you want to direct the call?
And when you start talking about Donald Trump, we'll mute that, but everything else is good.
Okay. And so, did you want to direct it with a question, or you want to start me off? Give me
Yeah,
something
I'll
to.
start you off. So Troy, how did you get involved in what you're doing now? What was the catalyst? I know that you were involved in the fashion world. You worked with Versace when you were younger, right? In Florida and over in Europe, in Italy, and then you kind of wanted to become a personality on television or some kind of acting career. You were involved in doing news and investigative journalism and things of that nature. How did you become certified health nut, and how did you get in the business where you are right now?
That's a great question. So, so it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg, or put the cart before the horse, or whatever the analogy is. The fact of the matter is everything you see on Certified Health Nut was developed because I was involved with a network marketing company, and I needed to get my messages out. Actually, that's not completely true. It's not like one before the other. That's what I was trying to say. It was which one really happened, but the tandem of the two, because if you have a social media platform, and what I tell my clients and students, and if you're not making money online, get off of it, because it's a total stress. It's highly addictive, and it's quite a bit of an illusion when people are posting, their top moment, and the way it affects your dopamine and serotonin. So there's a little bit of illusion. Now, if you are online, that's why it's good that you're on this call, because you might as well monetize that. You might as well be directing people, especially if you have any knowledge. You're a leader by default if you're one step ahead. And so if you know about drinking water and circadian rhythms and organic food, you're light years ahead of your average human out there, because remember, 70% of the American people are obese or overweight, diabetes 33%, and the list goes on from there. So I started, I was working with an herbal company, and digital cameras were brand new. I had a small one. I took one down to the Amazon in 2006 and filmed this footage. And I came out of the jungle with some very powerful visions that I had. The main one, humanity makes it. And I was like, wow, this digital footage I got in the jungle with these Indians singing these Icaros. I was like, that's magic. People probably dig that. So I put that up, and I did get some traction right off of that early on. And the health people at the time were either young trainers on steroids, and they don't include steroids in their program, right? They tell you about their nutrition program or their exercise program, but they don't tell you about your steroids. And then a lot of vegans promoting that as the penultimate diet, and I had gotten sick on that diet. So there wasn't much in between early on, and I had natural childbirth, and I was working in the Amazon, and I had all this exotic footage. So I was able to gain a certain somebody's going to mute their phone. I got a certain level of following from that. But again, I got censored and shadow banned early on because I would talk about vaccines and antibiotics, and I would talk about healing the liver and liver disease, and and then people are like, you got any scientific proof for that? Are you a doctor? So I was able to hear all that back and forth. And also I understood the ecological factor of the rainforest. So I was trying to save the rainforest and raise awareness about that and build systems that would support that. And I soon realized our oil exploration and our usage for oil supersedes all business down there: oil, lumber, cash crops. So trying to sling herbs and save the rainforest that way, when these other major industries are just completely blind and unconscious. And most people are blind and unconscious, even if they want to stop rainforest deforestation, but they don't understand these other entities that we're doing, especially when you look at your own gasoline usage and you see what's happening in Darfur and Libya and all these other places where we are the problem, therefore we are the solution. So I started working on crafting my message and fine-tuning it. But if you scroll back to the beginning of my YouTube channel, I've been singing the same song for 13 years minimum. And so having an herbal company, basically, here you go, guys, we got these herbs, this flushes bile secretion through the liver, and this one breaks down excess calculi formation. So it's good for gallstones and kidney stones. And so people would want information. It just so happened that I would have something for them being involved in network marketing. And so I was able to build a little bit of a business, and then wherever I could commandeer a microphone or a stage or have an event, I would do that. And so my speaking career also got accelerated. Actually, my whole speaking career developed from that. Even though I was a trained orator actor, I had plenty, of experience in that. So, but it was network marketing that really propelled me forward and started crafting my message and telling it in a different way. And my mentor told me, he said that, somebody's got to mute their phone. And so my mentor told me that, first of all, results never lie. And then, God, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that one?
Yeah, please stay muted, everybody. Thank you.
So, yeah, it was a good accent. Oh, the secret to business is not keeping your business a secret. So, and then your ability to close deals or whatever really comes down to understanding and communication of that understanding. So it's always about refining and becoming better and better. But the last 15 years building Certified Health Nut has been in tandem with having a network marketing company and getting out there and communicating these high ideals, which is, nutrition, fasting, internal purification, herbal medicine, the things that have been around since the beginning of time. And then now that we have the industrial age and the medical industry, and which was started by the Rockefellers, which were one of the first oil dominators, which would buy up railroads and monopolize everything. So what do you think they're doing with the American Medical Association? All roads lead to medicine, unless they're like me and don't have a doctor and know how to heal the human body. And so, and then that's control, that's monopoly. And so really understanding the world that we live in. And then from there, getting out and communicating as best you can. And if you can monetize, because I think this call is about success, monetizing anything, and that's just a direct feedback loop of how impactful you are being in the marketplace. And because I'm aligned with life affirmative principles, then most of the things that I'm going to be sharing with people are aligned for raising their vibrations, cleaning out their tissues, optimizing their consciousness and their physicality. And so that's antithetical to the medical industry. So of course I got shadow banned and censored. So anyhow, go ahead.
So Troy, what if somebody's coming into, say, working for a network marketer like Purium or whoever, and they have no real practical experience? They haven't gone to the Amazon. They're not super healthy, but they want to make a business work. What are some of the basic things that people can do to start right off the bat becoming successful with network marketing if they're not a certified health nut?
Yeah, well, that's an illusion to think that, just because I'm a certified health nut. But again, that took many, many years to build. So the first and foremost thing is, what do you want? Who do you want to be? And are you aligned with life affirmative principles? Do you understand glyphosate and industrial compounds that have been pumped into, the environment, the soil, etc.? Do you understand these things? Do you understand purity? Do you understand, these other basics things? And if you don't, the education isn't that big. It's get an ultimate lifestyle transformation, take it into the body, follow the program, and then you are the expert of your experience. And just get out there and share that. Again, the secret to business is not keeping your business a secret. Now, your ability to communicate your ideas and get a result from that, which is ultimately getting people healthy or getting people to eat cleaner and greener or trying the ultimate lifestyle transformation for themselves, that comes with a little bit of practice. And and then if you aren't getting the results that you want, then you have to go back into your own belief structure and what you're doing. Do you believe that you can build a business? Do you believe in network marketing? Do you believe in the company's ability to pay you, that the products are going to taste good, that they're going to ship after they take your client's credit card? Do you believe in all of these things? Because usually a lot of the stagnation early on in people's business has to do with their belief. So you only need, you know, 3 things in place: the belief in the product, the belief in the company, and the belief in network marketing. So I recommend everybody study the 45-second presentation. First 33 pages will take you into a very rudimentary glimpse of the distribution model of this business. And there's only 3 distribution models on the planet. There's retail, and everybody knows what that's like. Go walk into a store and buy something off the shelf. And the salesperson or the person in the store may or may not be adept to help you feel safe in your purchases. And so you buy things, and then the wholesaler, he buys that and then distributes that to the retail. And then who makes money in that? Well, the big company, not your friend that works at the store, right? And so, and then you've got direct sales, and that's it. That's the way goods and services are distributed on planet Earth. And network marketing is a direct sales business. So, and the marketing budget of the Purium company, instead of getting billboards, ads, Facebook advertising, all that stuff, it's word of mouth, which, if you study marketing, is the best way to market anything. And so it's the most accelerated path to market anything. So that's network marketing. So it's understanding the business methodology that you're in, and then getting out there and communicating. The thing is you have an incredible team that you guys are on, and there is massive amount of brass tacks training, because I can't really teach you how to be me work. So you need a duplicatable system that is an easy path to follow. And you are on that team. Angelo, Ra, Carolina are masters at duplication. And duplication, again, most of us are trained in the industrial age school system. So we are not trained how to become entrepreneurs anyhow. In fact, we've got a bunch of programming that it would behoove us to deprogram our minds. And network marketing is the perfect vehicle to do that. It's the perfect vehicle for spiritual development. It's the perfect vehicle for personal development. It's the perfect vehicle for business development. It's a perfect vehicle for sovereignty, right? You're going out there, you're taking control of your life, unless you want a boss to tell you how much money you can make and what time you got to work and how many hours, right? And so I'm nobody's minion, and so I'm kind of unemployable. And so I got to kind of dream up my own situation. And I didn't have a business experience. I didn't have MBA. I had no entrepreneurial training. So network marketing was perfect for me. I've been in it for 15 years, and I have grown so much. You know, I'm quite aggressive. I have my own shortcomings and shadow. And in the modeling industry, you can get away with some dysfunction, right? Because everybody's dysfunctional in that industry, or especially the agents anyhow. And so, but in the business world, you got to clean that up. So I've grown immensely and become a more effective communicator just by being engaged in the business. And the paychecks have always been steady since day one. I've averaged $1,000 a month, minimum, just starting out, and then I was like, okay, if I can make $1,000, what's going to take to make $2,000? All right, $3,000. All right.
So Troy,
I had a family, and then I'm like, all right, well, I need a baseline of, $7,000 minimum. Okay, so let me work on that. And then I realized LA got more and more expensive when Google and Snapchat and everybody moved into Silicon Beach in my neighborhood. So then I was just like, all right, I need $20,000, right? And I came to that terms. Kids were growing, they were in school and everything. And so I was like, I need $20,000 to thrive in LA, right? And that was in 2016 when I did that math. And it took me about 3.5 years to even reach that mark. The good thing is I'm glad I made that mark, because I've surpassed that mark now. And now I have my other goals. But unless you got that initial seed, and when I train my entrepreneurs now, it's just like, what do you need to thrive? And what do you need to survive? And let's double that, because people don't factor in, flat tires, or their carburetor goes out, or they want to take a vacation, or whatever. And so what do you need to survive? Let's double that number, because you just never know. And most people lowball their expenses anyhow. So get that nut, that seed in your mind, program your heart, and give it a why. Well, why do I want that? Well, I don't want to be somebody's minion. I'm not a slave. Or maybe I want to, I'm renting a room, and maybe I want my own apartment. So you really get those whys, those reasonings behind that. And so you can't hear me, bro?
You can't hear me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we got a couple questions I want to throw at you. That's some great stuff, but
sorry, I got
related. No,
there you go.
That's some good shit. Thank you. A couple questions though, man, from the chat. People want to know what you're obviously an extroverted person. There's a lot of people in this business that aren't, but what were some of the limiting beliefs that held you back when you started, and how did you break through those limited beliefs?
Well, one of the biggest limiting beliefs that I had was just around abundance and finance creation, money creation. So I had to really assess and reassess over and over again. And because I'm such an action-oriented person, it wasn't action. I actually needed to surrender. And so, and because my drive for success in this industry and this business, again, my why is I'm here to get the world healthy, because if I don't do it, then I'm going to be eating Soylent Green and breathing shit and being contaminated myself. 70% of the American people are obese. It was 62% when I started my company. That's like 10 years exponential growth, 10% exponential growth. 70% is near 100% with exponential growth. If I don't get my act together and start helping people to the nth degree and be successful with that, then basically I'm going to be a statistic. And so, motivated by the bigger picture all the way. And the money and the paychecks and all that other stuff is a measurement, or it's a metric on how effective I am being in communicating, how effective I am being in business, and how effective I am in getting people healthy and healthy-minded.
That's good. So Troy, when you are starting off with your business, when you're starting off in network marketing, when you started to find success, now you've made a level of success where the business is working for you more than you working for the business. Walk us through what a day looked like for you when you were getting started in this business. For people who are just getting going, they don't know where to begin, they have no downline or success line or whatever. What does a day look like for somebody who's just getting started to succeed?
Well, I guess that's determined upon the first thing that I said, which is your assessment and your ability to assess what you want and why you want it. You can't move forward without that, because otherwise it's like shooting in the dark or pissing in the wind. Anything will do. and you might not hit your target, so because you have no target. So get a target.
Know your purpose. And then
and then from there you can operate. Know why you're being involved in a Purium company. Know why that, did you have an experience on the products? Or maybe, hey, look, there's a bunch of people that come in through network marketing. They just want to make money, and they want to be with a good company. There's about 4,000 network marketing companies out there, and I would say 90% of them, 95% of them are selling garbage, right? If you're a health practitioner, a fitness trainer, 9 times out of 10, people are going to be marketed garbage if you're not locking up the organic nutrition for them. And that is going to mess up your program. So if you're designing a program for weight loss or something, and somebody's selling them Herbalife, and Herbalife is full of soy or whey isolate from GMO-fed cows and glyphosate-laden this and polysorbate 80 in their children's products, which is carcinogen, then Yeah, that's an inflammatory agent, and their weight loss program might not be optimal. So you want to lock up those nutrients for people and guide people to the real deal. And again, Purium represents that. There's simply not a lot of great companies out there, network marketing or otherwise.
Tupo's asking here, what do you choose when it comes down to responsibility and your heart's calling?
Well, those are one and the same. The question is, do you know what your heart's calling is, and are you honoring that?
Good call. Yeah, man. So we get the theoretical behind it, but what we really want to know is like, what did you do? How did you start? Like you come right out the gate with 100% purpose, or was there some things you had to work through before you figured out like, I'm certified health nut, I'm this, I'm that? You're obviously an expert now, but what about young Troy who didn't have any direction, maybe, or less direction? How did you get that?
So let me speak into this, because I became an expert in phytochemistry and plant medicine and Amazonian lore and all this stuff. And I thought that was the best path and the strongest path for me in my business. But actually what that did to people like you guys is people looked at me and they figured, I can't do that. But if you look at the history of network marketing, you got church ladies and stay-at-home moms and retired school teachers that dominate the pay plans of most network marketing companies. And so if they can do it, just sharing with their girlfriends, and what are they sharing? 90% of the companies out there are selling absolute garbage. So if they can sell garbage and make millions, right? Danny Johnson, Christy Dreiling, I don't know who you mentioned earlier that was multimillionaire, but there are a lot of people that have made a lot of good money in this industry. So, let me walk you through my process with Purium. So I reached the top of the Amazon herb company and they were mismanaged. So we brought on consultants and we ended up selling the company, and they had a different comp plan. And I basically, my check just dwindled. The company went away is what happened. And so I was really attached to that company because it was, working on saving the rainforest and sustainability. And there were so many heart-based things that I was involved with that company. So I really took it hard. And I didn't know if I was looking for another company until Michael Mason, talked to me. And I knew David Sandoval for a while. And so the process went like this. Michael Mason asked me about 15 times because I was in business with him with the herbal company, and we were friends, and I lived right down the street from his house, and I would walk in the park and he would, Troy, hey, I got real foods, it's non-GMO and it's herb stuff. And it's like, I know David Sandoval. And it was like, I was really hurt. So it took 15 times. And then finally, I got some product. I took them. I liked it. And then I went to a company meeting in Compton, Long Beach at the time. And the marketing director, they brought on a new marketing director, and that's one thing that we didn't have in the other company. So I was like, oh, all right. So they got their marketing game. They got their business acumen together. All right, cool. David's been around for 20-something years. Okay, products are good. All right. Okay, and then this guy up on stage is the marketing director, and he's saying a lot of cool things. The marketing we got around on the 10-day transformation, this is before the ultimate lifestyle transformation, take a vacation, 10-day vacation from foods. It was like, oh, the marketing was all good. It was all there. I was like, all right, green light, go. That was January 2014, and I'd been taking the products about 2 months before. So green light, go. Made a handful of strategic phone calls that people wanted to be in business with me already, because I've got my platform built out, and I'm connecting with people internationally and all over the States. So I made a handful of strategic phone calls, got a couple people in place, but didn't really treat it too seriously, which was a mistake, because I would have made a lot more money in the beginning if I would have got into action. But what happened was Christopher Taylor gave me a call about 2 or 3 months in. So the handful of people that I had enrolled in the company and in the products, they had started, going off. And I hit almost executive without even trying in the first 3 months. And Christopher Taylor was like, yeah, you're going to go executive. And I was like, what does that mean? Because I'm not a comp plan guy, right? I'm not a bean counter, right? I just take my jar full of beans and give it to the bank, right? I don't go 1, 2, and then the next day I count them 1, 2. You know, I'm not that guy, right? It's like, I'm just like, the more people I get in, customers and distributors, that's the essence of business. The more I can communicate and the more people that I bring in, the faster my business, and I'll actually have a business. So I do the shotgun approach, and I just got out there and talked to people. And so I got to work after that was March of 2014. I knew that it had natural flow with me, with the company, with just expansion. So then I got in the trenches. And from March to September, my iPhone was glued to my hand. In fact, it burned my hand. I think I had an iPhone 5 at the time. It burned my hand. So it was hot. And it was glued to my hand from morning to night from March to September. Got my goals on, tasted the money. So what do they say once you've had success? Rinse and repeat. So I tasted the money, saw that I was already, earning something. And so I just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I was using Michael Mays' house as an office on Ocean Avenue in Santa Monica. And I would invite people there. Like he opened that up. Like my house is opened up right now. And I have two of my brand partners that are in town. And so we're hustling. He's bringing people over all the time for me to talk to. And so we got in the trenches. I was putting people on the phone with Michael. I was bringing people over the house. They were tasting the product. I was out serving the product. Sometimes yoga studios having a 1-year anniversary. Hey, can I serve green drinks there? Yeah, sure. No problem. Pop up my tent. Hey, start. So I was moving, hustling, shaking, moving, shaking.
So now, Troy, we're like on the internet all day long now because everything that's going on with the world. So it's changed the game up a little bit. How do you duplicate? How did you learn to duplicate? Because we all know in network marketing, duplication is the name of the game. Like you want to find someone equal or better than you that you can bring on board. They can just run with it, and you got to show them all you know, and as much as you know, as much you can teach. How did you find those people to get off the ground?
Well, duplication is a nebulous term unless you really have a track to run on, and you're on a team that has a duplicatable model, and they put it together systematically. So really understand that and follow it. I can't teach duplication because people look at me and they go, I can't be that guy. So even though I became an expert with the Amazon Herb Company, I realized that was a dead end road because people would come in, I'd get them all fired up and riled up, and they'd be like, what do you want me to do, Troy? And I was like, I didn't have the training skills or the patience to take them to the next level. So starting people off right, who knows how to do that? Ra and Carolina, and they have modules. What are the modules called? They're called, it's like they got pages for everything, and you have to start at page 1, module 1.
HTML, and then business, Slack app, there's all kinds of resources. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. There's so many people out there that aren't willing to go through the simple steps. So how do you find those people that are willing to even make those little baby steps? And for people like us, we're hungry, we're staying hungry with this business. How do you get people to stop scrolling through their Instagram feed all day and thinking they're working, by saying
push their pain points.
Push their pain points.
That's marketing 101. Most people are fat and sick and broke.
So you can
talk straight to people and don't sell false promises. We got organic food. Let's see what happens to you. If you don't like it or it doesn't work, blah, 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 you can get the money back. But try it. Get them started. What does Michael Mays say? Just get them started. And the more people you can get started and then get into the system and into the training, because what you're talking about is duplication. And then you're interviewing me. And I'm not a duplicatable model. So people need to recognize that, because people look at me and they think it's easy, or I need to have, 60,000 followers on Instagram, all of that stuff. Nonsense. The church lady, I'll get 10 millionaire church ladies that they just talk to their friends. They believe in what they're doing. So you do have to get into some action steps. I've already made a pact with Carolina because I trained her for 1.5 years, and then she got what I had to deliver, and she got some other training. She put together her own system. So I recommend everybody study Carolina's system. Why? Because she's like the fastest crown in the company. She did it in like just over a year. So whatever she's doing, just follow everything she's doing. If it's hard, do it. Face yourself. If you don't want to do it, just do it. It's what I'm learning in business right now. I'm in certified health nut business. We did about $140,000 in sales in my online programs in my book. Okay, great. So we got a business now. What do we do now? Rinse and repeat, scale. So it's the same thing with what you guys are doing. Once you get out there, you get some tax, some brass tacks, and then you rinse and repeat. And the secret to business is not keeping your business a secret. The problem is comparison is the thief of joy. So if you sit there and look at other people and compare yourself, that's not going to help your business. And one of the big pitfalls that I see with a lot of brand partners is they get stuck in their head and they think about their business, or they think about how they can't do it, or they have their self-limiting beliefs. And then because that causes so much stress and pain in the body and it exhausts the body, because thinking is catabolic, so they think they're in action. They think they think they're doing their business because they're thinking of it. And that is a huge trap. Again, it all comes down to communication, hanging your plaque. Now, if I open up a barbershop or a salon, I'm going to get in the Yellow Pages or Google or get a website, and that costs $2,000-$3,000, whatever a website costs. Then I got to drive traffic to it. So maybe that's $1,000 to $10,000 a month, depending on what your budget is. And then, but with network marketing, if you don't have the capital, you can build using your social media, using your phone, using your Rolodex, using your belly-to-belly network, and at the local coffee shop or the local cafe or wherever people hang out. I used to go to Muscle Beach in California, and you just communicate with people. So you're building relationships, and sometimes, are you willing to take your health or wealth to the next level? And the magic question can be popped. Other times, it may take you 6 months to a year to ask that question, because you're building rapport with the person. You don't roll up on a girl or a guy and go, "Will you marry me?" It's like,
Troy,
first steps first.
When someone's starting off, right, and they've got 1 foot in the old paradigm, they're in their matrix job and they want to be a network marketer. Maybe they have kids, maybe they have other excuses or things holding them back from being able to take the leap, or they have that limited mindset, or maybe it's real. What does a person do in that situation where they're like, I'm going to go all in on a company where I'm not going to see any money for months? Like, I'm not going to match the money. I mean, the long game looks great, but how do I mitigate that short game so that I have that mindset that I can hang with it? Like, do you just got to be like a dog backed into a corner that just is hungry and has to fight its way out? Or how do you do it?
Again, Angelo, this all goes back to, looking in the mirror naked, literally and figuratively. Who are you and what do you want? What do you want and why do you want it? These are the deeper questions. And then from there, that is going to dictate your ability to perform. Now, if you've got kids in a day gig, then you may only have 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week to dedicate to something like this. 1 hour after work every day, Monday through Friday, and the rest on the weekends. Do with what you have, but be committed. I just got back into shape after losing a ton of muscle and having black mold exposure. I had full-blown autoimmune disease, neurological, incurable, you're fucked kind of, doctor appointment. And doctor's like, hey, you're screwed. And so I'm like, mind over matter. I'm getting back in the gym. I'm going to heal myself. I don't care if I got to pick up 3-pound dumbbells and lift them over my head. Yep. I'm not embarrassed to do that at Gold's Gym while all the roid guys are out there. So I did that. But how did I do that? I didn't exhaust myself. I went in there, I picked up the light dumbbells, and I came back the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And then I became this guy. And now I can't get away from it. I'm actually getting more and more ripped because I just moved to the mountains and got deeper into nature, started waking up with the sun, the dry air. It's like shrink wrap. my muscles just started protruding out because all this nature is just electrifying me. So again, what was it? Oh, I got black mold, autoimmune. I'm sick as hell. I'm weak. I'm Troy Casey certified health nut. I got a marketing idea. I want to be strong. What do I got to do to heal myself? I got a bunch of emotional stuff that I need to do now that I'm in the vortex here. I still have growth to do. So I'm glad I'm healing. We never arrived. So get your mind right on what you wanted. I wanted a body like that. And I went out and I worked it. I used all my holistic principles. I used the Purium products. And I consistently went to Gold's Gym for, what did I do? I think it was about a good year and a half when I really started on the body side of it. The writing of the book I started 5 years ago. The concept I started, years ago. But the actual physicality of getting my body into that shape to take the photographs and everything else, that was a good year and a half. I did 1 year on the road to Yoked, started filming stuff then, but I didn't take that photograph until a year and a half into, getting back in the gym systematically. So consistency is the key to anything. And commitment comes, you got to be committed that you show up when you don't want to show up. So, and there's a principle in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. It says that most people quit when they're 3 feet from gold. I mean, could you imagine gold mining? You're trying to go through a vein and you're like, oh God, I don't think it's going to be in here, And then you got to move over 3 feet and then boom, you hit the mother lode. I'm so glad that I stuck around for that because there was plenty of times when I was ready to quit. Plenty in the past 15 years. And I'm so glad I didn't quit. And I heard about these days. And now I'm so grateful. And I'm rolling over everything that, benefits in my life. And I'm trying to give as much as possible to everybody else. Because if I can figure out the manifestation principle and the creation principle and, programming your mind out of your heart's desire and then utilizing your pineal gland to cut through like a laser through the fabric of reality and fly like an eagle like the Wright brothers. If I can do that, woo, let me teach some other people how they can do that. You can do it too. I know you can do it because I did it. I grew up on the street. I was incarcerated as a youth. I had all sorts of problems. And so if I can do it, Jesus Christ, anybody else can do. Looks are deceiving. You should see my shadow.
It's true. And making ourselves vulnerable is the key. Failure is the key. People think that I've gone through a failure, they just give up instead of knowing that every time you fail, that's a great step in the direction of your ultimate success, right?
Well, look, I failed my way to success. This book, I wanted a coffee table book. I wanted it. Luckily, my wife designed it, had a design background. But I manifested this thing, and it was just like, that came from a dream that I had. And so there's another point.
I always look at it as though if you don't have a point in your story, like a movie or a book where there's something really terrible that happens, then what's the success? It's like a movie that you just go from, you started on your journey and you made it to the end. No one wants to follow that or read that. People want to connect with people who are vulnerable, people who fail, people who are not afraid. And I think one of the most important things that most people don't understand is that they have to be themselves. Like you talk a lot about Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee has a lot of great quotes. Like knowledge of self is the ultimate knowledge. That's something that you've instilled with me. How do people go on the road to be figuring out who they are? Because a lot of people don't even know their why and don't know who they are. How do they get to that point when they're there, when they're stuck there?
Save that question because I want to go back to what I was on. So I failed my way to success. I'm not a book publisher. Never published a book either. I own the rights 100% to this thing. So I just trialed and errored and failed my way. Working with vendors and other creatives, I used to harp on them to like, you got to do it. You got to get it in a timely manner and you got to do it my way. I learned, and then people feel threatened by that. So I learned to just find out who I want to work with, see their magic, throw whatever money they want at them, and don't manage them. Let their magic come out. I had to learn that by failing, trying to tell people, oh, you need to get on it, and and this doesn't look right. And it's like, no, just so I had to surrender certain parts of myself, and it's who I became in the failure process. And with network marketing, because duplication and patience and a good system like Carolina has built, I didn't have that. So duplication was a bit nebulous to me. So I had to learn the hard way. I wouldn't listen to my mentors. I wouldn't listen to the system. And so there's plenty of people that cracked the code that I did in 3 years, right? Carolina did it in just over a year, right? So I had my own self-limiting beliefs, or I need to do it my way, or I led with the product for so long because I was embarrassed about network marketing's got such a bad rap. So I learned about leading with the business in 2008, and it made so much sense. And I watched other people do professional network marketing, selling garbage. And I was like, all right, that's got to be the way. But I'm a holistic guy, and people want to know about all the products. So it took me forever to wean myself off of promoting products and then teaching people network marketing and recruiting network marketers. And so that took years. So to take years off of that, get clear on your why, study the 45-second presentation to understand the industry that you're in, test the products. If the company makes a paycheck to you and you get your products online, you believe in the company, and then you move forward and stick to Carolina's system, and you'll do it faster than I will.
There's people I deal with a lot that are, I work with, they're brand partners, and they're like, I can't do that. Limited the language that they're using. I want to, I need to, I have to. How do people get around that, thinking like maybe someday I'll be there? And how do you jump from that to being like, I'm in it, I'm doing it, this is happening, I fully believe in it?
Well, people got to look in the mirror and ask what they want.
Naked,
literally and figuratively. Like, Come on, universe, show me. Humble yourself in front of the presence of yourself and get real. The rules of alchemy work like this: love, truth, wisdom. So truth is representative of where you are. Love is representative of where you want to be, whatever dream that is. And then by law, that creates tension. By law, tension must be resolved, high pressure to low pressure, and it goes into the wisdom. And so, and that's why people say it's not the journey, it's who you become on the journey. So you get that tremendous wisdom. So let's define this, because this is very important. This was a key for me, right? This was a key for me. One of my alchemy teachers, he teaches writing. He wrote a book called The Magician's Way, very famous book out of Australia, William Whitecloud. So when you're looking at truth, right, you have to accept where you are, whether you're broke or destitute or overweight or whatever. You have to accept that and don't get out of touch with reality. And then never let go of your dreams, baby, right? Because those are the two things: delusional or letting go of your dreams. And then you have no alchemy. So get that tension right back up there and let that tension be resolved by law. It must be resolved. And so, but keep coming back to that honesty, because that honesty, people are full of illusions and people are full of excuses. And so, and I'm a people. So always test your beliefs, test your illusions. Don't get high on your own supply.
Unless it's Wim Hof, right?
Unless it's breath work.
Yeah. So yeah, that's some good points right there, Troy. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask Troy in the chat?
Woo! Q&A. Any newbies out there kicking the tires?
I don't know. Hope so. Sign up with me. Yeah. Certified health nut. Troy Casey, ripped at 50. So I had a really good question. It just eluded me. So how often when you started out, Troy, were you having like thoughts of quitting?
Well, my frustration was more because I always had success with sales. My frustration was really around duplication and, real team building. And I think that's in direct reflection to my own personal development. I had to learn patience. I had to learn, I tell you, one of the best things about a network marketer is if they got gift of the gab. And one of the worst things about a network marketer is if they have gift of the gab. So it's a weird kind of thing. Guaranteed they're going to have a lot of success. They can get out and talk to people, but also they can say the wrong thing, at the wrong time, or, especially when it comes to building a team. You, as a talker, you may be able to get lots of people into your business, but can they stick and stay? Can you get them into the duplicatable model? And everyone's got different skills, and that's why it's great to build teams. And that's why I'm so happy to have Ra and Carolina on the team, because they're doing something I cannot do. And obviously my ability to attract and recruit, I'm a natural born recruiter. I recruit in my sleep. And so, but as far as training and teaching, that takes a little bit more patience, especially there's all levels of entry level. And I try and simplify it down. And if you've been in network marketing long enough, you know that you tell your people the same thing that your upline or some other team told them. But when the other people tell them, they have the aha moment. And you're like, I told you that thing 10 times, but you can't tell them that, but that's what happens because it's called selective listening, right? If it's our upline or our sponsor or something like that, it's just like, yeah, you're just motivated for X, Y, and Z, and I'm not going to listen to that. Oh, but now I'm interested, and I'm at the national convention, and somebody else on another team or on stage or the private conversation, and the upline hits them up or the downline hits them up and goes, oh, I'm doing this. And you've told that to them 15 times. They just didn't hear it. And then they hear it and they get it. How do I know? Because I did stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't do this business wrong, guys. You really can't. You get out there, you test. It's just like, it's just like anything else. You get out there and you test, fall on your face, do some failure, give yourself permission to fail. Again, I have failed my way to success. I am not a book publisher. This is one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen in my life. And so, but I did it and I kept showing up. It took me 5 years.
That's the biggest thing that people don't do is they don't show up. Showing up's 90%, right?
And you're showing up for yourself, not for me or the team or your sponsor or your upline. You're showing up for yourself. Who are you? What do you want? And why do you want it? Go back to basics. Martial arts is replication of the basics.
Here's a question from Taylor. What are some tips you can give on building social proof as a newbie?
Be healthy. And here's the thing. You don't need to be ripped at 50. Hey, how about you do the ultimate lifestyle transformation and your skin clears up, some inflammation goes out of your face. People say, what did you do? That's your social proof right there. Hey, I just went through this fasting program. It wasn't easy and I was doubtful, but here are my results.
Good point. Let's see other questions here. Casey says, how do you I think you touched on this, but how do you handle people who have their own preset belief of network marketing?
Well, you can always ask them, how's that working out for you? Because I'm making $30K a month. So, well, I'm just saying, okay, let's back it up. If they have a preconceived notion, well, I would just ask them what experience, do investigate it. Be really open and best way, most intelligent use of the human mind is to be open, right? When I'm dating women, that's one of the sexiest things, you know, especially in LA where a lot of people are closed down. If people are open in business, it's the same thing. So if people are reticent to it, well, what's your experience with it? Have you ever had a family member? Well, I joined, I looked at it, and then it wasn't for me, and you know, I bought all the product and I felt ripped off. And if we go back to one of my earlier statements, most products are garbage. And so, but most people never really try. They never really give it something. One of their friends got involved, spent some money on their starter pack, and every company's different. So the entry level is different for each company. They went out and asked a bunch of friends and family. They were not committed. Then they quit. And maybe they joined another one and it was the same thing. So that's their experience. So if that's their experience, that's totally understandable. So it really just depends on the frame of reference. And again, going back to who people are and what they're doing and what they want to do. It doesn't matter what anybody's experience is. I just talked to a guy the other day. He said, you know, he cleans up other people's shit. He's got a sump pump for the porta potties, and a local guy here in Arizona, guy makes $1 million a year. Nobody wants to do that job, but he's got a very leisure lifestyle. Got people that work for him, and he built it up. Nobody else wanted to do it. He did it. Makes $1 million a year. So it really just depends on what the human being wants. If you don't have that many skills, and what's your education going to do for you anyways? I don't know. I don't really know people that got a liberal arts education and used it for anything. So if that's just going to get you a job at a coffee bar or a desk job, even Carolina, highly skilled. I think she's got like a master's, she's an architect, she's all these things. And she's also a CrossFitter and a healthy person. She likes to be very active. Well, she achieved greatness in university and worked with a high architectural firm and worked with Elon Musk and SpaceX or Tesla or something. I don't know. She designed a bunch of buildings in Santa Monica. She was great. Great job. She climbed the corporate ladder. Room for growth. Everything she achieved. And she was sitting down, shutting down her hip flexors. Glutes were getting a little flaccid. And she likes CrossFit. And so she ended up having to quit that job after the realization of, and her education, I don't know why she got into that education, but that's the thing. People have all sorts of illusions. And they're like, let me just get this degree. And then once I have this degree, I can get a good job that's going to pay me a lot of paper. And then my life is going to be easier and great. And I'll be on the gravy train. But that's not how life works out. We have no training in entrepreneurial skills. We have no training in knowledge of self and, you know, spirituality, dealing with what is, as opposed to being addictive to what you don't want or what you want. And so again, back to the illusion. There Carolina went, super successful, working with one of the biggest architectural firms forever, but she's not happy because she doesn't have the lifestyle. Well, what kind of lifestyle do you want? Like, let's reverse engineer your business here. What kind of lifestyle do you want? I have had a freedom lifestyle for the 15 years I've been in the industry. I ride my bike every day, hang out with my kids every day, eat only organic food. You know, I've designed my lifestyle around. And I know I get paid in direct proportion to how much energy I put into my business. So the 6 months that I spent in 2014 paid me for the next 2 or 3 years, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Right? I did all the work that most people are unwilling to do to have the lifestyle that most people never have. So I built it up to that level and then worked through, you know, I had my own emotional blockages and I wanted to be 2-star crown way back then. I got up to like red diamond and then, you know, petered out, gave up a little bit. My check started floating down. I went all the way down to $3,000 a month. When I got divorced, that was a low point in my life. And, I was getting paid $3,000 a month. That was 2017. I 10x that. And so why? Because I stuck in the trenches. I rinsed and repeat what was always working. And I always was working towards recruiting even and up, right? Someone either like me or better than me. And so and my intention was clear. And sometimes we have to weight, W-A-I-T, in direct proportion to how much weight, emotional weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, we have on us. What are the crosses that we're bearing? What kind of silly attitudes that we have about, judgments do we have about other people that are holding me back? You know, and so, I mean, if you want success, you're going to have to let go of something, because you can't get something from a closed hand. So if you think you know everything and you think you got everything, and then you know you don't need anything from anyone else or new information, you basically it's a sacrifice. That's how the life works. You have to open up the hand and give that out, so then you can receive. And so you have to, if you want something in your life, you have to sacrifice. This is law. And so what is it that you're going to sacrifice? Are you going to sacrifice the bonbons and Netflix and get on the computer and build your business, learn about your business, educate yourself, communicate, try it, test it, get back in the trenches, you know, learn some more, test it out in the field, communicate? And so it's, you know, it's a constant, but hopefully that analogy helps you guys.
Thank you so much, Troy. I really appreciate your time. We could sit here forever, but we're probably going to move on. If anyone else has anything else to ask Troy while he's here.
Hey, Rebecca, how's it going?
Shout out. Give him your questions, because, you know, this is somebody we can learn a lot from.
Yeah, you guys want to do a Q&A? We're here right now. Otherwise, I'll cut you guys loose. Mark, what's happening? The water truck in the house. Dale the whale. Aaron, good to see you. Brianna, Tess. I saw Alyssa on there earlier. Taylor, what's happening? Veronica, Alice. Good to see you guys. You guys want to do any Q&A at all? You guys got a lot of people.
Troy, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes. What do you do? How do you recommend balancing when you're working on your own progress and sharing that with other people through your social sharing network?
Okay, you got two microphones set up. That me. What are you doing? Get off of that.
I'll be back.
Not on the Zoom.
Okay. Sorry. Was that me or was that somebody else? Angelo, can you rephrase that question? I was a little distracted with the echoing.
Yeah, go ahead, Tess. I think we have two accounts here. Tess, you have two logins at once right now. So you're on a phone and a laptop, is that right?
Here I am. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, let me rephrase that. So my question is, how do you recommend balancing when we are so focused on self and that inner work, and then also sharing in our social network through our business?
Well, balance is the key. So when I have leaders on my team and they call me up and they're burning out, I ask them, when was the last time you went to the beach or the mountains or took some time off for yourself and unplugged from your phone? Oh, it's been weeks. It's like, well, start there, because you're not present and available for the community that you're trying to serve. So start there. I've told this to Angelo as well. And that all the ancient sages have said, walk the middle path, walk the razor's edge, balance is key. So it's a thing between getting some knowledge and then getting out there and communicating it. The knowledge is not going to give you more information, because all you're sharing is your experience. Company's great, non-GMO. It's like easy throwaway information. You're either in or out. And you know, they talk about posture in network marketing. My posture is so strong, people have to beg me to be in my business right now. I don't have time for people kicking the tires. And as it is, I'm going to connect them with Angelo or Carolina or my other teams as well, because I actually don't have a lot of time to train them. And there's a lot of network marketers out there that can use leads, and they also have the time to coddle the person to the next level. I have my frontline leaders and the many leaders underneath them that I support already. So my plate my plate's pretty packed as far as getting people started. And so my posture is just like, you want to be in business, or somebody comes over here and they want to have a meeting, and I could tell like they might not be ready. I'm just like, look, get your mind right, because we're crushing it right now. And if you want a piece of this, I don't care whether you like multi-level marketing or whether you don't, or whether you like superfoods or don't. If you want to be involved with something and you want to build a business and you like what I'm doing online, get started, because I don't have time if you're kicking the tires. And so I get very clear with that within, 20 minutes of prospecting. And because I have gift of the gab, I learned after years of getting on the phone with people, I just start talking, and the next thing I'm on for an hour and they don't sign up. And I'm like, oh shit. All right. I need to shut up. And so I stopped talking to people and getting on phone calls. I don't talk to people about cleanses. I've made 5, 6, 7 videos on the ultimate lifestyle transformation. Watch that. Do the cleanse. I'm the certified health nut. If you like what I do and you like the Ripped at 50, do the cleanse. Everybody, you see me online. Everybody do the ultimate lifestyle transformation and liquid sunshine for convenience and efficiency with your cash flow and your time. So selling the products is just like, it's a throwaway for me. Oh, you want to be in business? What are you going to offer? What do you have to offer? Have you been in network marketing before? Have you ever owned your own business? What kind of skills are you bringing to the table? So the game's shifted. So the quicker you can find yourself to that posture and realize that you're respectful and you're worthy and that you're intelligent and that you're offering green superfoods that are organic in a sea of fakery and fuckery all over the planet. If they don't want to be in business with you, they're not ready. Don't throw pearls before swine. Understand what you're doing. And the fact that you're a leader by default, everyone's a leader, right? Some people know how to do calligraphy. Some people know how to play piano, and they can lead you in the tutelage of that. If you know that glyphosate and being overweight is harmful to your health and that there's a better way, then you're a leader. So get out there and lead people. If they don't have respect for that, just have the sniff for that. And then bless them, no judgment, bless them, learn to have no judgment when people say no, because no just means I'm not ready, or I don't trust you because you're probably just kicking the tires and getting ready to move. So why do I want to do business with you if you're not committed, right? So a lot of people say no in the beginning because you're not committed, and they feel that, right? So get really clued in to your commitment, and that should come with an ultimate lifestyle transformation. You should have before and after pictures. You should have your own testimonial. And this whole industry is, that is the marketing of this whole industry, is people's individual testimonial. How else is an Herbalife or Isogenics distributor going to sell their crap to other human beings? Well, I tried it. It was great, man. It worked. It worked. It's great. I like it. It's good. Yay. What ingredients? I don't know. Because we're a different breed. We're all into that. That's like the entry level of barrier. Like, what's in it? But everybody else is like, oh, okay, Jesus in a bottle. I'll lose some weight. It's full of laxatives and stimulants. Okay. So again, it's really just about getting your mind straight, and awareness is the first step of anything. So if you're like, yeah, I'm not confident with Purium. Yeah, multi-level marketing is a sticky word for me. It still triggers me. All right, work with that. Work with your sponsor on that specifically. And actually, I would defer to the upline because Carolina probably has a module on that. And so you'll be able to go through all of these elements of barrier. And so, yeah, I hope that helped.
Dale,
Troy, golden nuggets. We love you, man. Thank you.
Dale,
I love you guys.
Question over here, Troy, and this has already kind of been touched on, but I'll honor it. How do you
do the last one? How long are you here for, Yuri?
We have a dinner to go to.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got a dinner I got to get ready for.
Okay, last question. How do you lead with the business? How does that look?
Read the 45-second presentation. Has this person read it?
Come on, Dale the whale. All
Dale
right.
the whale.
Yes, I got it. Thank you, brother. I've read
So,
it, but
I mean-
I need to read it again. I'm not comfortable spitting out the information yet of that.
Know the 3 elements of distribution model, and you're in direct sales. So, you know, ask your friends in retail if they're getting paid. No. And do you have enough capital to buy $80,000 worth of product and then build a business around the distribution model? If you don't, then I've got a way that you can get into business, and all the infrastructure is taken care of. All you need to focus on is sales, marketing, and team building.
That's great.
Which is communication.
All right.
Perfect.
So I think in the future, next time we were able to get you back on here, Troy, thank you for your time, man. I know time is valuable. We're going to maybe go a little bit more personal. We're going to learn a little bit more about your political life. Maybe we'll see. Nah, probably not. Nah, that's not good.
Just tune into my Instagram if you want
yeah.
that stuff. And the only reason I play politics out there, guys, because I tried to change the world in so many ways, and people are just locked in. The battlefield is the battlefield, the battleground of the mind. We're in a meme war right now, and people are locked into all sorts of ideologies that may or may not be serving them or the planet. And so I just twist everybody's panties. That's just, you know, coyote medicine. Just plain and simple. I'm just here to help people think for themselves. That's it.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to save this one to my YouTube. So if you guys don't follow my YouTube channel, I'm going to put this up within the next day or so. If you want to go back and revisit Troy's little nuggets of wisdom here from a certified health nut. Troy, thank you, brother. You're always there for us. We appreciate you. We love you, bro.
You guys got to all vote for me, President of Planet Earth 2020, baby. Here we go.
Anybody?
God bless everybody.
All right, brother. Thanks, Troy. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you at the 6 o'clock call.
Blessings.
You're the man. Rise on.
Deuces, love.
Love you all.
Amazing.
Thanks, Marcelo.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
Love you. Thank you
Peace.
so much.
Keep going up for yourselves. You guys are awesome. Keep going. Keep believing.
Everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Awesome call, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right on, man.
All right, y'all. See you later.
Peace, homies.
Peace.